Hey, what is going on, everybody? My name is Joris, and welcome back to another video. I'm doing with my mom. If you don't know, which I don't know how you don't, Travis Scott, pretty big fan of him. Been a fan of him since Upper Echelon. Apparently, he had a concert, an Astroworld concert. Didn't go so well. Some people died. Other people got rushed to the hospital. People passed out and stuff like that. Everybody's looking for somebody to blame. In my personal opinion, I don't believe that it's all his fault. The people were being dumb. Anyway, I brought my mom here. We're gonna watch some stuff. I don't really know that much about it. She does more than me, so this is really going to be informative. This is for me, like my information. Also get any secondhand information from my mom as well. Other than that, let's get this started. Let's see what we got here.
You're right, we still have a lot more questions. First, I want to tell you about the ages of some of the victims. One was 14, one was 16, two were 21, two were 23, one was 27, and the age of the last person remains unknown at this time. In total,
wow,
there were 8 people who died.
I didn't even know that.
13 people are still hospitalized. 5 of them are minors. We're told a 10-year-old is still in the hospital tonight in critical condition. Now, one of the most shocking details we learned today is that Houston police are investigating an incident where a security officer may have been stuck in the neck with a syringe. The officer was administered Narcan, which is given to revive someone who's had an opiate overdose.
Somebody's what?
So there was a security guard that was there trying to, stop all the chaos that was going on, and he said that he felt a prick in the back of his neck and he went unconscious. So Narcan is what they give people to revive them in case, they ingest drugs, When he came to, they examined him and looked on the back of his neck, and they could literally see an injection site hole where someone had stuck him.
So somebody in the crowd
was going around injecting people with some type of drug.
They didn't talk about that though. That can't be blamed on Travis.
And we are learning now about the first confirmed victim who died in the chaos. Spring Branch ISD sent a letter to parents saying the victim was a 9th grade student at Memorial High School. Our team is working to learn more about the student, and we will bring you the latest information as soon as we can.
Looks like a crazy concert. I've seen Travis Scott's concerts before on YouTube, and they're just crazy like that. Like, that's just what people do when it comes to wild concerts. They do stuff like that. That's not Travis's fault, it's all in people.
But whenever you have those types of venues, like even back in the day when we were coming up, they used to have this term called mosh pit. And basically what a mosh pit was is when people got into form like a little circle in the middle, and they would just all start raging and and doing all that crazy stuff. So basically what ended up happening was this girl, she said her and her boyfriend got there early. I think she was a nurse, and what ended up happening as soon as he took the stage, everybody almost like rushed to the front. Like they rushed to the front and they was pressing them up against the barriers, and she said she could barely breathe. So she said she remember looking at her boyfriend saying, we got to get out of here. You really couldn't get out. You really couldn't escape.
Yeah, well, another thing is that this can't really be blamed on Travis, because there's videos before the concert even started of people breaking the barricades and getting in. I saw it on Instagram somewhere, people breaking one of the side barriers and like rushing in, and this was before the concert even started. The craziness and the actions and the decisions of other people can't be pinned on Travis. They all want somebody to blame.
They're going to hold him responsible like as a civil matter, because what's going to end up happening is they're going to say it's because of his concert, and because he encourages, kind of like when people stormed the Capitol and they blamed it on Trump because they said, it was what he said and what he posted that encouraged people to do it.
In my personal opinion, I don't think Travis was prepared for it. He didn't know this was going to happen. I mean, how could you know? 50,000 people. There's so many other things that your focus is on. Michael Jackson, performing maybe sometimes even a few million sometimes of people. I think Michael was prepared for it. I think one of the home videos I had watched, and he was talking about touring and concerts, he said that he would have paramedics and people, and Michael said he'd have like thousands of faints.
But in Travis's defense, he did stop the show several times, and there is footage.
I saw
one
that
at the beginning where he did stop, concert and say, hey, we have someone passed out up here.
Yeah,
and I remember hearing him say, security, hurry up, someone's passed out. So he was aware that some people were passing out, but I don't think he was anticipating what really happened when, you know,
he didn't know how bad it was, but how can he? Even though he's like on top of everybody and can see everything. I mean, there's bright lights, loud music, I mean, there's so many other things.
I don't think
that
he
your focus
understood
is
the
on.
magnitude. He knew what could potentially happen, but I don't think anybody ever anticipates the magnitude. And also make mention there was a 9-year-old boy who he's currently in a coma. His father took him to the concert. People were blaming the father, saying, why would you take a 9-year-old? What type of parent would do that? But you know, parents do stuff all the time. You know, his dad was probably a fan of Travis Scott and just wanted to share the moment with his son. Now for me personally, it would have been a no. But you know,
I would have went anyway.
And that's his choice. And
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's his choice. It is that right there has nothing to do with Travis. I feel like a lot of the stuff that they're trying to blame Travis for right now has nothing to do with him.
Someone has to. But you know, they're not only blaming Travis, they're also suing Live Nation as well, and you know, and the event promoters and you know, everybody who they feel is involved.
But hey, let's not forget, one of the worst domestic attacks on United States soil happened about 10 months ago, and the man responsible is just chilling in a ranch somewhere. I think in Texas or Florida or wherever he lives now.
He did get in trouble, but not to the
not like how he was supposed to. That's terrorism. That is probably the closest we've been to terrorism since 9/11, and ain't nothing happened.
Well, to encourage people to storm the Capitol is just bad decision making.
And he didn't even after he was like, I love you, you're very special, but look, we have to have peace now. You're very special. You know how he talks with his lips puckered out. A lot of this was due to people being dumb.
Like I said, concert goers have been doing that. But I remember, like, back in the 60s, they used to do acid, you know, at you know, Woodstock and all. They did acid. People do all kind of things.
Coachella,
you know,
they be smoking.
They
be smoking at Coachella.
But due to, you know, people actually losing their lives at this concert, yeah. And I think Travis Scott, he's worth about anywhere from 50 to 60 million, something like that.
I could actually probably see his 60 million.
Yeah. Like, what was that first record he did? It was called Rodeo, and he had that song Antidote, the one you used to play all the time.
And I remember Antidote. Antidote was a good song, yeah. But yeah, his previous albums are big. Like, Antidote was big, Butterfly Effect was big, Goosebumps was big. Travis Scott is a great rapper. Like, he's probably one of the best rappers right now that currently use autotune. I like the way Travis Scott uses autotune. It's different from everybody else. He's a good rapper, and to be honest with you, he really don't deserve this, but
he's 30 years old, I believe. He's about to learn a really big lesson. And plus, you know, there's a prominent lawyer in San Antonio, Thomas J. Henry, paired up with, more people to, you know, I think like 38 different lawsuits that they're going to file against Travis and his, you know. So, and Thomas J. Henry, I mean, he's big.
He's big. Yeah. So I see him all the time.
It literally, the crowd becomes a fluid, essentially. You get pushed from the back because people keep pressing in. And then the people at the gates,
people get rowdy. People get rambunctious.
So just kind of like flowing. It's almost like a wave, but an uncontrolled wave. And you're not actually standing on the ground. You're just standing on other people's shoes.
Says the crowd became even more chaotic when Drake joined Travis Scott.
Oh, Drake was out there?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
He stopped for a second and he said, what? And then he looked over on one side. He told them, like, hey, get her up.
So he did help.
Yeah. But I guess they expected him to have eyes in every place. And
from the sources that I heard, everybody made it seem like, oh, it was his fault. Oh, he should have knew what was going on. No, it's way more difficult than that. He can't see everything, no matter how high he is. Yeah, there's loud music, bright lights. There's a lot of things that obscure his vision and his hearing, and he can't pay attention to that. He needs for people to tell him, and they did, and he stopped and helped, and he helped people out. From what I know, they made it sound like he didn't do anything, and he didn't take any responsibility.
Some people, and some of the comments were harsh, to be honest with you. I read through some of the comments, and some of the comments were borderline racist, saying throw Travis up under the jail and stuff like that. And like I said, if you lose a loved one or someone you know die, of course you're going to have feelings about it. You know, you're going to be mad. You're going to want to be compensated. Look, I get that. But to call the man all kind of names and, you know, treat him like, you know, he almost like walk through the crowd, you know, with a, you know, AR-15, just intentionally mowing people down, like, that's the way people were talking. Like I said, I understand the emotions behind it, but he didn't anticipate it all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I really do not believe that Travis should be destroyed over this.
I can understand the sentiment behind their families, What I don't understand is the sentiment behind people who just want to jump in and just, you know, say in the man's career and throw him up under the jail. I don't understand that part of it.
But it's not his fault though. It's the people. It's not.
Well, that's
not
why
all
you
his
have
fault.
a team. Like Live Nation, that's why you have a team, because you can't be a one-man show. You have a team, and when you're there performing, you got to. That's why you have all that security. That's why you have police officers, you know, to keep, you know, things like that in control.
Not long ago, Governor Abbott saying what has happened at Astroworld Festival last night was tragic, and our hearts are with those who lost their lives and those who are injured. There are growing memorials outside the Astroworld Festival venue where many concert goers are returning now to pay respects to those killed and injured. That's where we find our Jason Miles. And Jason, I imagine a very emotional scene right now.
Oh, to say the least. You know, a lot of the people coming here today had tickets to day 2 of the festival, returning.
So after the first day, they shut it down?
Oh, they were supposed to come for, it was more days.
How many days?
I don't know. But so they shut it down after the first one.
Some bringing bouquets of flowers. All have stories about last night. An 18-year-old we met from Toronto, Canada.
I understand people are there to rage, but sometimes it gets too far, you know? Like, I saw people getting thrown around. I saw people getting hurt in there. It was horrible. Like, I was a little scared at times, you know? Like, this is my first concert, too. This was a really strange experience for me, to tell you the truth. This was really strange.
I remember years ago, I went to a Lupe Fiasco concert, and it was pretty much the same thing there. And the crowd was much smaller, much smaller. It was at a club. And it was the same thing there. People were pushing. I got pushed. You know, there was this big dude. He had I guess he was with this small girl. I mean, their size difference was like 2 feet almost. He was this big guy, and the girl was so small and petite. Well, she couldn't see. So I remember this guy literally elbowing me, pushing me out the way to put her on top of his shoulders and block my view so I couldn't see. Wow. And he didn't even care that he just, I think that's the last concert I've been to when it was
You're like, okay.
It's too much. It's too much.
Jeremy Rogalski spoke with a national crowd safety expert for some insight. Jeremy.
Cheryl, that expert has studied crowd management for 30 years, and he says the problem all begins with the layout of the concert itself. The festival-style standing room only setup, he says, is by far the most dangerous.
From Elvis Presley on, everybody has known this is problematic. It forces people in the crowd to work against each other. This is the worst thing that can happen in crowd safety.
But the crowd-crushing event quickly spun out of control. It required 62 Houston Fire Department units to respond to take 25 concertgoers to the hospital.
I'm pretty sure a great number of people who got in there are people who didn't even get tickets. People who rushed the barricade, because I know there's a lot of people in Houston.
Like he said, he came from Toronto, he came from Canada, so you know, it's probably people from all over the place. Like I saw one in, you know, California. There's people from all over the place.
Yeah, Dallas, California. I think I saw Florida in there somewhere. People coming up from all over.
A lot of misinformation is already spreading online. Brandy Smith is here to break down what we do know.
I don't want to downplay what happened, but I do want to add a little context as someone who was there. I think most people like myself had no idea people were in trouble, but it is clear from videos shared on social media, some of the crowd did.
That one in the middle, I saw that.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
Yeah.
Texas A&M student Sienna is seen in multiple videos crawling onto a production platform, yelling at the crew about what she's seen in the crowd. In another video, the crowd appears to chant, "Stop the show."
Saw that one too.
Scott did pause his performance, which was being streamed on Apple Music.
Somebody passed out right here. Hold on, don't touch him, don't touch him. Everybody just back up.
To point out someone who needed help.
Security, somebody help.
So he was helping. People made it seem like he didn't do nothing.
Yeah, he did help.
First responders drove into the crowd. At that point, social media documented people climbing on those vehicles.
Yeah, that's what.
That's not his fault.
Madeline Eskins snapped this photo Friday afternoon as she entered NRG Park. The ICU nurse took a day off from work and had every intention of having fun with her boyfriend. But the medical medical worker and her boyfriend ran into trouble last night. She says they were near the front of the stage as Travis Scott was performing. Air 11 shows us what a crowd of 50,000 people looks like. Madeline says it felt like she was, quote, drowning in people.
I noticed that one guy that they were carrying, he looked real bad. And I stopped her. I said, hey, have you checked a pulse? And the security guard was like, I don't know how. I said, okay, I'm an ICU nurse. Let me help. He's like, yeah, please check the pulse or whatever. And he didn't have a pulse. And I said, hey, don't put him down to go get someone else. You need to take him straight to the medical tent. And then another security guard overheard me say I was an ICU nurse. So he said, hey, I said, what can I do to help? He said, yeah, please, we need help over here.
I'm glad she was there. Wow.
12:13 p.m. Air 11 captures some of the first arrivals to the festival. Organizers opening the gates.
Are they going to show the videos of people rushing the barricades?
Crowd all pushed toward the stage, even though there appears to be a
was that Lil Uzi Vert?
towards the back.
Hold on.
Stage.
Yeah.
Is that Lil Uzi?
Yeah.
And fuller.
Right.
Crowd all pushed toward the.
Is that Lil Uzi?
That look like him.
I think that's Lil Uzi.
708, it's a similar situation. You can see the space is not full, but most of the people are concentrated towards the stage. This is about 2 hours before things went horribly wrong. And here's how it looked just before 1 this morning. The scene had cleared except for the first responders who had come to the aid of hundreds of victims who had succumbed to the devastating crowd surge.
I'm glad that for this they actually had video, they had facts, they had, logic, statistics, they used rationality, and they didn't make it seem like it was all Travis's fault, because you can see it was people.
Because the venue wasn't even at full capacity. Whenever you get people together, like I said, people don't care, they push. And that's why right now to this day I don't really do crowds, because you really can't enjoy yourself.
I saw some videos before of Travis Scott's apology. Many people said that it seemed insincere. I can see how it looked that way. But another thing that people didn't say, Travis actually tried to pay for the people's funerals that died, and I think he also offered to pay medical bills as well. So he tried to make amends.
Yeah,
he's trying.
He was gonna pay, for the medical bills.
He's not. It's not
funerals.
It's not all insincere, and even if it is his responsibility, he's trying.
But then, if he didn't make an apology video at all, people would still, hey, where's his video? How come he isn't speaking out?
They're trying to sue Travis, trying to take him for everything he's worth. Even if he did know, he even stopped the show multiple times to be like, hey, we got somebody passed out, help him. And he's a really talented dude. I've seen videos of him on Instagram or on YouTube of him behind the scenes, making music with his producers and just partying with friends, and he seems like a really cool dude. To be honest, if I wasn't an introvert, I would probably have a good time around him, because he seems to be that type of good personality you always want to be around.
Some of the comments that people are saying are just stop performing. You're nothing without auto-tune. They got 54 likes. Someone said send Travis and his team to prison. Oh, we didn't talk about the fact that they said it was a blood sacrifice. It was a ritual because they believe he was part of a secret society or the Illuminati, and the people that died was a actual blood sacrifice. So
that's that crazy stuff that people want to talk about. Oh, he's satanic. Oh, he did that to sacrifice people. There's actual people who have done that on stage, but we won't talk about them though.
People are trying to defend Travis despite the fact that he had zero regard for people dying during the show. Worst artist in history. Someone just put trash cans.
All of those people right there are haters. They're just using this to attack him.
The cameraman should be in trouble too, as people are telling him that people died in there.
The cameraman didn't do nothing. I will give him that. Cameraman didn't do nothing. Not from what I saw. The girl was yelling at him and stuff, and he was just like, I got a tape. I got a videotape Travis. Will they sue him? Probably. Will they try and attack him? Will they try and cancel him? Will they try and attack, take him down? You already know they will. But there's a history of people going crazy at concerts, and there's a history of people, actual artists and rock stars, promoting violence or promoting certain disturbing things at concerts. Ozzy Osbourne being one of them. There's a video of Ozzy Osbourne biting the head off of a bird. I think it was a dove.
Oh really? Let me see what year that happened, because it was a pigeon head. He did it in 81. He then spat the head out with blood still dripping from his lips. Then he bit the head of a second dove.
Oh, but we won't talk about that though. That's irrelevant.
Well,
it happened in the 80s.
I guess.
Yes, it's a tragedy, but it's not right that Travis takes all the blame and suffers.
Well, I don't think he should take all the blame either. I really truly don't. Like I said, he's not a one-man show. You know, when you have artists, you have everybody, you know, who's there to help. All in all, he's going to learn a very valuable lesson here. And one thing I'm going to say is he's not going to get any of that Jenner/Kardashian money to help him out either.
Definitely not. I can agree with that. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, they not.
If he gets sued or whatever and all that, you know, all that money, Kylie ain't gonna put nothing down. I don't think the Kardashians gonna be like, nope, it's all you. You gonna handle that. That's it for now. It is a tragedy. Me and my mom, our hearts go out to everybody who lost their lives and everybody, you know, got hurt. Yeah, got affected. All the families. Yeah, Travis doesn't deserve to go down for this. He really doesn't. People have done way much worse stuff than that, and ain't nothing happened to them. To be honest, I feel like Travis can really get through this with support. And if it's not coming from other rappers or other celebrities, it has to come from us.
I think emotionally, psychologically, mentally, all of that for him is definitely going to be a day
mess with him
that, you know, he's not going to forget. And not to minimize anything that happened to anybody there, but whenever you get big crowds like that, people don't listen.
Earlier, before the concert really started, there are videos, I saw them, of people rushing the barricades, rushing security. This doesn't really have much to do with Travis Scott. Travis did everything he had to do.
My son's a bigger fan, you know, than me, obviously. But I really truly think the humanity in him, or any person for that matter, if they really truly understood the magnitude of exactly what was going on in that moment, yes, I do not put it past Travis that he would have just entered that concert and you know.
But he didn't know.
When it comes to situations like this, you will really start to see the nature of people. And like I said, he's about to learn.
A lot of the stuff that happened at that concert was the result of people being rowdy and rambunctious. Anyway, we've been recording for almost an hour. I gotta end it. I gotta go to work tomorrow. And I want to watch a movie tonight. That's another video I've done with my mom. I've done a lot of videos with you at this point.
Rest in peace to, you know, the 8 people who passed away, including the 9-year boy who's now in a coma.
Yeah, the 14-year-old, the 16, all the 20-year-olds. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Travis really needs support through this, so just at least give him that. We will see y'all in the next one. Peace out.